Hello everyone, my name is Devendra and in this video we are going to cover tuples in Python. So what is tuple? Tuple is an ordered immutable collection of items in Python. When we say ordered, it means items have a defined order and can be accessed by their indexes. They are immutable, so that it means that once they are created, we cannot change it, so we cannot add, remove or modify tuples. Tuples can contain identical values and they can store different data types as well, similarly similar to lists. So how to create tuples? And tuples can be created using either parenthesis or tuple constructor. So let's see this with an example. So here also tuples can be created using tuples can be created from lists, strings in other ways. So let's see with the example. So here, if you will see from a list, a tuple is created using tuple constructor. Similarly, from string, we have passed string. So one thing to notice here is that though we have passed the string here and we have passed it to tuple constructor, the data which is stored as in the tuple is stored in characters. So if you will observe the list, if you if you will observe from the list, it is created as this data which we provided, when but in case of string, it actually stored individual character separately as tuple elements. Also, one more thing to notice is when we try to create tuple and we provide a string, if we are not giving a trailing comma, it will be considered as a string, not a tuple, as you can see here. So the first one where we have passed extra comma, a trailing comma, it is considered as a tuple, but then the same string where we have not passed a comma, it's considered as a string. So let's see how to access tuples. Tuples can be accessed by their indexes. So it follows the same indexing pattern as we do in lists. So there we can have forward indexing, which will start from 0 and it will go till the length of the string. Then negative indexing starting from the last element as -1 till the very first element. Okay, let me just execute this one as well. So same thing. I have a variable color where I have defined some colors. And if I have to access element at 0th index, I'll just say color of 0 and it will return red. Color of 2 will return blue. Color of -1, -1 means the last index, that will return purple. Yeah, you can see as the output as well. And -2 will return yellow. Slicing, same slicing, the same way as it follows as we do with lists. So there we have to pass the starting index and the ending index. Okay, then immutability. So I think we've discussed what is immutability. Immutability originally means that we cannot add, remove, or modify the items in the tuple. Let's see this with an example. So I have an example here fixed where I have passed some values 1, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, and then I'm trying to modify it. So ideally it should not allow me to modify and it should give error. So let me just run this. So here, if I run it, it's not allowing me and it says that tuple does not support item assignment. Since I was trying to assign f0 as 100, the first element as 100, but it doesn't do that. If I just comment this and I try to run it again to 60, append 60 at the last, so it should give that has no attribute append. Similarly, if I comment this as well and just show you the last one, remove does not have any element as remove as well. Yeah. So moving on to the next tuple packing. So when we say tuple packing happens when you create a tuple by placing values comma separated values basically. So if I have a variable where I am trying to create a tuple using comma separated values, okay, so explicitly, it can be with or without parenthesis. So here in the first example, if you will see, I have comma separated values, but with the brackets or parenthesis. Then I have another variable. This time I have elements, but they are not enclosed within parenthesis, but still they are pa- tuples. So this is called tuple packing. Then another concept is tuple unpacking. So how, though we have packed it, now we'll see how to unpack actually a tuple. Okay, so what unpacking means is basically when I'll be assigning that some elements of a tuple into multiple variables. Okay, so let's see this with an example. I have a basic tuple. So I have a variable where I have defined some values. So Alice, then 30, then New York. So these are basically attributes of a person, the name, age, city. Similarly, if I have to unpack it, I'll just create three variables and I'll just pass the person which was actually storing a tuple. So I just pass my tuple and it will just unpack it. So if you'll see what it does, it just stores name as Alice, age as 30, and New York as city. City as New York. Okay. Then another function. Okay, so this time we are doing unpacking with a star operator. So what star operator means is that it will capture the elements, whatever elements we are having, it will capture the elements, remaining elements, basically all the elements you can say. So if let's just understand with this with an example. So I have a variable number starting from 1 to 6, which is a tuple, where I've defined first, I have created three variables now. First, then star of middle, then last, and I have passed the numbers, the tuple. Okay, now what will happen? The first will contain actually the first value, last will have the last value, and the remaining all the values will come inside this middle tuple. If I just show you, let me just run it and I'll show you. So see what's happening is first it should take one, middle will return a list of all the elements in between, and then last element. Similarly, if I have to see at different positions. So now earlier we had three variables, now we have four. So what it will do now, it will capture the first, it will capture the last and second last, and then the rest as a list. See, the first one, then last, second last, and then the rest as a list. All right. Moving on to the next, tuple methods. So there are by default two built-in methods, count and index. Unlike of list where we have multiple inbuilt methods, with tuples, we have only two, count and index. So what count does is it will give you the count of your tuple, the number. So it will return that which number is stored or which element is stored how many number of times. So it will give you that count. So if we just see it, so here I have a tuple defined where I have some random values. If I have to see the count of 2, where I pass 2 as my parameter, so it will count 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if you'll see, 2 is 4 times, 7 is not available in my tuple, so it returns 0. Similarly, if I have to see the index of any specific element, in that case, I'll pass use index method and I'll pass my number, which element which I want to actually search. So if I have to search the index of 4, what it will do? It will go, it will traverse and it will return you the index of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the index of 4 is actually 4. So and one more thing to notice here is that index will always return the very first occurrence of that number. So let's see with the example where we have to find the index of 2. Though index though 2 is stored at multiple positions, I think 4 times it's stored, but it will return the position of the very first occurrence. So very first time when where at what index it was available, 0 and 1. So it returned 1. Okay. So now let's see how to delete a tuple. So tuple in we cannot delete individual items from tuple. However, we can delete the entire tuple itself using delete keyword. So we'll use del keyword to delete the entire tuple, but we won't be able to delete any specific item from there. So let's see this with an example. So here, if you'll see, I tried to delete the 0th index, the item at 0th index, but since it's not allowed with tuples, it's giving me error that it does not support deletion. Now, if I just comment this part, if I just comment this part and I try to rerun it, so let's just understand first what we are doing. So here I am trying to delete the entire tuple, okay, with this. I am trying to delete it and then I'm trying to print the tuple. Though we have already deleted it, that it should not exist. It should give error at this point. Okay, let me print. So name is not defined. All right. All right. I think this is it. This is what we had to cover in tuples.